This is not the first time I am hearing about this story. Now, whether it is true or whether it is just legend, please lend me your attention for the next few minutes, and in return, I will give you a perspective that will change your mind deeply. Okay? Now let's watch this.
Father Dennis. Father Dennis was a Roman Catholic clergyman, and he used to come to preach in a square in Paris, dressed in his cassock. And one man walked up to him and said, "Don't come here to preach again. We don't want to see you around here. Don't come and talk about Bible here." And Father Dennis will not hear. The last time Father Dennis preached in the square in Paris, the man arrived with a knife and was sitting to one side of the square and sharpening his knife while Father Dennis was preaching. The noise of the sharpener will attract Father Dennis all the time, so he takes a glance at him. And the man also take a glance at him. "You will soon hear from me." And then he will be sharpening. And when he was done with the sharpening, he sharpened it so sharply, but he didn't want to throw the knife twice. So he went to Father Dennis and told him, "We've told you not to come here to preach, you refuse." Wham! One swing. Father Dennis' head dropped down. And Father Dennis himself picked his head in his hands. And the head continued to preach. And the head was saying, "I have not finished talking." The man put his knife down and ran away. And Father Dennis carried his head in his hands and trekked for miles. And his head was still preaching in his hand, until blood finished in the body of Father Dennis and he collapsed and died with his head in his hand. You got to...
Okay, let's stop this here. You know, when I watched this again, it reminded me of this account, and there was only one thought that was on my mind. Let me share it with you. The thought is like, because we are all going to die, right? Okay, would I be willing to lose mine, my own mortal life, if it meant the saving of another person? Not 1,000 people, one person. And when I thought about this, you know what came to my mind? I say, yes, we go feel on them. But I will require some assurances. I will need assurances that this person that has been spared or saved at the expense of mine, that their life will not be ordinary. Because I cannot afford for my own to be discontinued, and then the person that you did it for will change their mind tomorrow and be carrying hookup gears. I will need assurances that this life will be of consequence, that they will actually matter, that my sacrifice will not so easily be forgotten, and then they will begin to live life like every other person out there. I need assurances that this life will leave a mark on their day, so that at least my sacrifice will be worth it. And when I thought of that, it now dawned on me what Paul meant when he said, "Remember my bonds." I don't know if you're getting me. The only reason I'm carrying this thing is you. You don't have to, but please remember my bonds. Remember what it cost me to bring you this thing. You know, some people ask me, why did I choose Jesus? Why are you living for him when you can be living any other how? See, me, I believe the gospel. I do. You know, they wrote about him. He was taken from prison and from judgment. Who will declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. He no even marry. Who will be his seed? Na me. I will declare his generation. When people ask, this Jesus self, how do we even know he was real? Let them look at me. My life will be proof that true, Jesus once walked this earth. You see, even in a more secular sense, some of you, your parents have literally poured out their life. Some of them poured out their dreams so that you can have a better life. What are you doing with their sacrifice? Others will go out and smoke Igbo, you will join them. You that is carrying the expectations of many generations, blood have literally poured out so you can be where your mates are. You can't live the same life. The question is, what are you doing with their sacrifice? They will go crop, you will throw them go crop. They will sniff something, you will throw them and sniff. If they long mad, they send them abroad. You, at guy, you will carry chain and be patrolling in the market. What are you doing with the sacrifice of the blood that has been poured out for your sake? That's the only question that is here today. If you know that high prices were paid to set you on the path that you have done nothing to deserve, you will live differently than others who do not have such an understanding. I don't know if you are getting my point. Don't mention no, we don't do that here.